So, Cameron, how was Texas Online? By the way, we had such a busy hour. We haven't even had a chance to really talk.
It was great, and we were talking beforehand about the Woodlands and that area north of Houston. That is, my only regret is I didn't get to see that much of it because we were pretty much at the hotel and at a restaurant next door. But it looked nice. The rest of it, it was a sprawling complex. I mean, it was so. I mean, it's so big. The night before Thursday night, Jimmy Buffett played at a pavilion there on or at the Woodlands. I don't know how you say it, but it's so cool. It's just got this boat that takes you all around, and it's got just beautiful buildings and great restaurants and clubs, and so the area was great. Then the conference itself was really well done, and it was just fun. So many of our friends were there, so many great people, so many. It was just it was a great way to that AFP and AFP Texas. It's how they reach out to the activists and get people involved and teach them things like Fingers and Thomas from FTR Radio. Our friends are up there doing a podcasting lab, or other people are talking about how to find sources. I mean, it's just it goes that whole thing about what we do here and some of the other conservative outlets do, and targeting more of the niche audience and covering the stories that don't get covered. But it was great. And then I got to say, my personal best memory of it was, Tracked and Targeted, of course, our friends Steven Cruiser, Tony Katz, Kurt Schlichter, were performing their second ever live performance of Tracked and Targeted here at this event. And they were in a corner preparing, decide who's going to do what. And I walked over there to take a picture take a picture of them, in action to tweet, "Hey, here they're getting ready for it." So as I'm walking up to it, you can hear Steven Cruiser talking, and then he says, "Oh yeah, you." He points at me. "He'll do it." And I said, "Well, what will I do?" He said, "I'm gonna have you introduce us." So I said, "Okay." How do you say no to that? Introducing three of our best friends on the show, of course, three personal friends of both of ours. Only their second performance of this vaunted entertainment program at this event was really, it was definitely a highlight. It was a lot of fun bringing those guys up on stage. So it was a good weekend. I could live without the humidity of Houston, but everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're kind of used to it in D.C. because D.C. is not the
right, I just wasn't ready for it yet.
Most arid of conditions.
Right. I know here in D.C. There's kind of although this year we had no spring, so who knows what the hell's going to happen in terms of humidity. But I just wasn't ready for humidity yet. My body hadn't acclimated to it. So I got off the plane there, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm in Houston. I forgot."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The afternoon thunderstorms and everything. And by the way, I've been to the Woodlands. I actually have family who lives in the Woodlands, and it's a beautiful place. When I first went there, and it's, I don't know, 15, 18 years or so ago, it was very, very. It's a planned community, and so it was very, very planned at that point, and it felt very Stepford Wives-ish, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, look, everybody's been replaced by pod people. I think it's grown more organically since then, and it's kind of developed a character of its own. And so it's a beautiful place and great folks. I was at an Easter service at that pavilion where Jimmy Buffett played, and it's huge. I mean, it's one of those 20,000 seat amphitheaters.
That would make sense. I mean, I heard about it. I didn't see it. I saw a very small sliver of the Woodlands. I hope there's another NRA meeting there one day in Houston, and we can have an excuse to go north about 30 miles because it was one of those things like you want to explore it more. You didn't have the time to do it, but it really was a great area of Texas, of course, and definitely of Houston.
Apparently, Texas Online could be held anywhere in Texas because you don't leave the facility, right? So you're basically you need the big convention center. They need to find the biggest barbecue restaurant in Texas. Actually, you know where they hold it? At the Big Texan in Amarillo next year.
That would be cool.
That's where you go, and everybody gets a 72-ounce steak to try.
That's bucket list stuff. I want to go there one day.
Oh, have you never been?
No, I've not. I've never been to that. I've been all over Texas. I've never been to West Texas. And as many times as I've seen the Big Texan on all the Food Network shows and challenges, I I've been wanting to go there for years. So one day, never been.
I love you, Texas, but as somebody who lived in Oklahoma and drove Interstate 40, I can tell you really the only reason to go to Amarillo is to eat at the Big Texan, or at least top 3 reasons to go to Amarillo. If you have a loved one there, if there's a party, or if you want to go to the Big Texan. But those are the only 3 reasons I can think of that you would. It's not a huge vacation destination. You know, nobody says, kids, get in the van. We're going to Amarillo this week. Just doesn't really happen that much. You go through on the way to somewhere else on I-40.